Major developments coming out today on the Jonathan Kuminga trade front. We're also going to take a look at some Warriors draft targets because they do have a first-round pick in next Thursday's NBA draft. But first, help make Warriors Today the best NBA channel in California. Now, the numbers back it up. We have more subscribers than the Lakers report in total. This week, though, they are beating us by 82. Year-round coverage of the Dubs, multiple videos per week, and a live show coming your way on Friday. Hit that sub button, and with that, let's talk some Warriors right now. Here we go. Welcome into Golden State Warriors Today. I'm Chase Sr. Appreciate all of you for being here with us. And no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, as always, we appreciate you for watching the show. There are so many options out there for you to take your content in with. So thank you for being here on Warriors Today. Are the Dubs going to trade Jonathan Kuminga? That's really the big portion of today's show. According to reports, the Warriors are pursuing a Kuminga trade. That according to Draft Express. Draft Express does a great job of scouting some of these prospects who are entering the NBA draft, and they do have a good pulse of what's happening around the NBA. This is notable coming from Draft Express because the Warriors, according to them, are pursuing a trade of Jonathan Kuminga for a high draft pick. How high could it be? Not sure. But Jonathan Givony with this, sources tell ESPN the Warriors are also exploring the option of acquiring a high draft pick in exchange for a young prospect such as Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga is a really good player with a lot of talent, so they could get back a pretty sizable package for him. But first, let's hear from you before we dive into all of that and react to it. Your one-word reaction to this report. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let's hear from you down in the comment section right now. Now, obviously, I've continued to say this, that I'm bullish on Kuminga. Ever since the Warriors drafted him a couple of years ago, 7th overall out of the G League, I have said I think this guy has a lot of potential. I kind of compared him to a Jaylen Brown prototype coming out of the G League, and we've seen the really impressive progress that Brown has been able to make in his NBA career, where this past year, he was an all-NBA type of player. The handle still needs work for Jaylen Brown, but he's added a three-point shot. He can get to the rim. He's really good in that mid-range area and a very good defender as well. And Kuminga has that type of ability. Now, has Kuminga been told something by Golden State? Who the hell knows? And we're not sure if we can read into this, but this is what he posted on his Instagram story on Tuesday. Vulnerability is the only authentic state. Being vulnerable means being open to allow yourself to not let your past, others, or even your journey make you feel less than what and who God have created you to be. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Being open to the wounds of your life means also being open to the beginning of the healing process that would allow you the beauty of it all. Don't mask or deny your vulnerability. It is your greatest asset. Be vulnerable, quake and shake in your boots with it. The new goodness that is coming to you in the form of people, situations, and things can only come to you when you are vulnerable. You and we all are at our most powerful the moment we no longer need to be powerful. The beginning of vulnerability starts with self-reflection, self-evaluation, and most importantly, self-discipline. Lastly, if you're afraid to be vulnerable with anybody, start with yourself. Take a moment to write a letter to yourself. Start to take control of yourself. Now, obviously with this, there's a lot that goes into it. Is he talking about some of his past mistakes that he's made in his life, in his basketball career? Is he hinting at new beginnings because he believes that he's going to get dealt? Who the hell knows? But obviously, Jonathan Kuminga and the trade buzz behind him has been picking up steam, and it has gathered momentum ever since the Warriors were ousted by the Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games in the second round of the NBA playoffs. In the regular season, certainly displayed some ability when Andrew Wiggins was out. He was able to get some solid playing time, 10 points per game, 52.5% from the floor. But why the trade discussions are hot across NBA circles, 1, he has a lot of potential. 2, he's still really young. 3, he barely played in the playoffs. He was basically out of that playoff rotation for Golden State, only logging 6 minutes per night. So I want to hear from Dub Nation in the comment section here, because on Warriors Today, we're all about the audience interaction. What would you do with Jonathan Kuminga? I would keep him and just frankly have him be a part of this rotation. T for trade or K for keep. This coming from Anthony Slater of The Athletic, that sources indicate that there is no plan for a salary dump trade this summer that's purely about cutting the bill. That's a power move by Joe Lacob, by the way. That doesn't mean Poole is safe. That doesn't mean anyone besides Steph Curry is safe. The Warriors intend to explore various avenues to restructure the roster this summer, both small and large in scope. Look, there's a couple of ways to look at this for Golden State, and the outlook is fascinating for so many reasons, right? We could see minimal changes. We could see a major shift this offseason. Draymond Green opts out, goes somewhere else. You trade away Klay Thompson on an expiring deal. You trade away Kuminga and or Moody and or Poole. There's so many changes that could happen, because are the Warriors close to the Denver Nuggets? I would have liked to have seen how they stack up against Denver, with Andrew Wiggins playing like he did last year, with Poole playing like he did last year, and with the Warriors being a better defensive team. But that's a Denver organization. They're going to be relevant. They're going to be around for the foreseeable future. And according to reports, Dunleavy and Kirk Lacob are running the show for Golden State. It's going to be kind of a twosome and a pairing in that front office. And with new blood in there, Bob Myers had ties to Curry, Klay, Draymond, and some of the other players. These new guys do not. They could reshape the roster to their liking. If you want to look fresh with summer weather here and the official start of summer coming up next Wednesday, chatsports.com/Warriors Polo. You can get swagged up and swagged out with this Warriors Polo. We'll put that link in the comment section and in the description of this video. As for some Warriors draft targets, let's talk about some players who Golden State could look to draft and trade up for in the NBA draft if they trade away Jonathan Kuminga. I think Victor Wembanyama, totally off the board. Like, he's going to go number 1 to San Antonio. Number 2 pick gets a little bit interesting, especially if the Dubs put together a package to try to get to number 3. Could they get the best of Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson? Brandon Miller, 3-level playmaker with a lot of really, really good size, and Scoot Henderson kind of has some Russell Westbrook athletic qualities to his game, but is a better offensive player than Russ. Anthony Black out of Arkansas, pretty high on our NBA draft big board. Amen Thompson, him and his brother are both kind of gaining some traction here. They played in the G League last year for Overtime Elite. You have Amen and then Auzer, and then Gradey Dick out of Kansas. I think that's a player who could play kind of right away just because of how Kansas plays basketball and just the game that he has. Keontae George out of Baylor definitely made some strides, has a lot of potential. Jarris Walker out of Houston, a solid player. Taylor Hendricks is a player who's been mocked to Golden State a lot. This is a big with a lot of length, athleticism. He's a forward out of UCF. And then Dereck Lively Jr., another player who gaining some traction as well. 5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.5 blocks. So if you're looking for a rim protector there, which is an area that Golden State could look to bulk up, bolster, and fortify, maybe Lively is one of those options. Name a player that the Dubs should draft. If they trade up, it's going to be really interesting who they pick, how far they get up, and what they decide to do with that selection. This is what I do know. Currently, the Warriors are slotted to pick 19th. Our main NBA Chat Sports draft coverage is going to be the most watched draft coverage on YouTube. I hope you join us, but also here on Warriors Today, I will be reacting to whatever the Warriors do on draft night and whoever they decide to select in the 2023 NBA draft, which is coming your way already on June 22nd, 8 days away. It's a huge offseason for Golden State. We're going to be covering it every step of the way, and every move that they make, we're going to document it and talk about it here on the program. That's why you got to subscribe.